Mesdames, Messieurs, bonsoir. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes vendredi 13 juillet. 30 juillet, je m'excuse. 30 juillet, je m'excuse. Alors, une autre sortie avec le docteur Pierre Kamguia pour parler du Cameroun. Et cette émission sera vraiment particulière parce qu'elle sera bilingue. Vous savez, nous sommes Camerounais avant tout et après tout. Et le bilinguisme ne doit pas être une fiction. C'est une réalité dans le contexte camerounais. Et nous devons commencer à pratiquer le bilinguisme. Donc ce soir, j'ai introduit mon sujet en anglais. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Today is Friday, 30 July 2021. And I'm coming to you tonight with Dr. Pierre Kamguia to talk about tribalism. Tribalism, luxury or necessity? The practical case of Cameroon. That's what we are going to be entertaining tonight. And the reason behind the selection of the topic is due to the fact that the salute of one Cameroonian to another one is based on one of two things. The way of your pocket money or your tribal group. That's how Cameroonians salute each other. That's the base of collaboration. It might be unfortunate or fortunate for some of us. But tonight, we are going to talk about it. It is obvious that the level of tribalism, the practice of tribalism by the Mr. Biopol regime is way up there. It's way, way up there. And people are sick and tired of being victim of tribalism. So, Dr. Kamguia, good evening. How are you today?
Good evening, Nestor. I'm doing well.
I have to thank you for accepting this. Go ahead, Dr. Kamguia. The connection is very bad. I cannot hear you. Dr. Kamguia, I cannot hear you.
Well, okay. I don't know how else I can do this.
Go ahead.
I have an earpiece.
Yes.
And maybe it's a Bluetooth that's not working well. So I'm going to speak as loudly as I can.
Good. You can deactivate the earpiece and connect with the vehicle.
I cannot connect to the sound system of the vehicle. It's not such a newer vehicle like what you have. So let me see if I have some other way that I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we will do the best that we can.
Okay. Sure. Let's do it.
But I can hear you very well. I can hear you.
Excellent. Let me say hello to our brother Eli Njokwa. Hello to you, Eli. I know he's in Canada. Go ahead, Dr. Kamguia.
Well, I was saying that we may have a few interruptions because I'm driving. So when I drive through an area where the signal is not good, you may lose me, but I'm still here. So I do agree with you that tribalism is a scourge in Cameroon and has been made worse by the current regime. And they do it obviously for political reasons and on purpose.
Yes, they do it for political reasons and on purpose. The other truth is there is an effect of this political action on the health of Cameroonian, on the educational system and the education itself. Because when you appoint people from the same tribe to run a country and to hold major positions, you're not helping the country because there is no accountability to the institution. There is accountability to the tribe. What do you say?
Well, I say that what you say is true. One could even entertain that there could be exceptional cases where occasionally a majority of a government can be from a particular tribe. But that should be based on merit and performance and not on tribe. It can happen that if you base things on merit, that a tribe may dominate some other tribe because they are more meritorious thing, and it will give you the impression that it is tribalism. In the case that we have in Cameroon, unfortunately, history has shown that from the colonial era, they have a knack of appointing people who are less qualified and usually sidelining the most qualified of Cameroonians.
Now, when we look at the level of tribalism within Cameroon, do you think that only the government or the president is the only one accountable? Because at the end of the day, a lot of tribes are nourishing that culture of groups. They are saying we need to be with ourselves. They are allowing to grow. What do you, am I wrong?
You were slightly interrupted, but I think I get the gist of what you were saying. No, the government is not alone responsible for tribalism, but the government has a very important role because they set the tone of what is going to happen or what happens. So a government that is not tribal in its philosophy, even if some people are tribalist, tribal oriented, the government can set a tone that makes it basically unacceptable to have those type of practices. In the case of Cameroon, it's quite the contrary. The people itself, I don't think they are not so tribal oriented. If they were, the different populations will not be intermarrying and settling wherever they want in Cameroon like they have been doing for decades. So the tribalism is not really from the people. The tribalism is from the leaders. Those are the ones who promote it.
Very good. I strongly agree with you on that. But can we agree with the fact that the areas with high intensity of tribalism, the areas where the head of state is from, do you think the head of state is taking them hostage? Because I happen to believe that they never volunteer to be tribalist. But the leader of the country, happening to be from that area, decided to use them and discriminate the rest of Cameroonians. So, should they be? Are we supposed to blame them, or we need to find a way to see the truth? The truth being that they are equally victims as the rest of the tribes in the country.
Pour mettre en pratique notre bilinguisme que nous avons annoncé au début de l'émission, je vais répondre maintenant en français. Les populations des régions du centre et du sud dont est originaire l'actuel président illégitime du pays, certains y trouvent leur compte. C'est généralement ce qu'on appelle les élites. D'autres le font par convenance et par nécessité. Ces pratiques, ça leur profite, donc ils le font. Et une autre partie le fait à contre-cœur et sous menace parce qu'ils savent qu'il y aura des représailles s'ils ne s'alignent pas. Voilà, donc je crois qu'il y a 3 catégories de personnes dans ces populations-là. La troisième catégorie, ceux qui le font par menace parce qu'ils ont peur de représailles. à mon avis, ils peuvent faire peut-être 10%, 20%. Ceux qui le font par convenance, parce que c'est la route qui a le moins de résistance, je crois que c'est la grande majorité. Et ensuite, ceux qui le font par dessein politique, c'est encore une infime minorité de peut-être 5%.
D'accord. Donc,
alors, je ne crois pas, pour répondre à la question de façon brève, non, je ne crois pas qu'il faut blâmer toute une population parce qu'il y a des agitateurs et des chantres du tribalisme parmi eux et utilisent toutes sortes de mesures pour les obliger à suivre.
d'accord. Donc, les populations du centre et du sud peuvent se considérer comme des victimes du tribalisme. Nous pouvons conclure cela. En
Oui, je crois qu'on peut conclure.
D'accord.
Que sont victimes du tribalisme,
Oui, mesdames et messieurs, le docteur Kamguia est en train de conduire, comme vous le constatez. Vous savez, aux États-Unis, ce n'est pas toujours évident. On fait 1000 choses à la fois. Vous ne m'avez pas vu en semaine parce que c'était vraiment bousculé de mon côté. Donc, nous allons être tolérants, n'est-ce pas, du son qui vient de son côté. Et à un moment donné, je vais mettre le lien public pour vous permettre de venir peser sur ce débat. Bon, docteur Kamguia, je vais continuer avec ce sujet sur le tribalisme. Le Cameroun a beaucoup de mots. Beaucoup de problèmes ont été fabriqués par M. Biapol et son régime. Le tribalisme, un des problèmes majeurs, c'est un problème qui a affamé beaucoup de Camerounais. Ça a mis beaucoup de Camerounais hors du Cameroun. Ça a mis beaucoup de Camerounais sous le sol. Beaucoup sont morts à cause du tribalisme. Et du côté du village de ce monsieur, et de l'autre côté. Bon, maintenant, je suis de ceux qui pensent que la solution au tribalisme est économique. Je pense que la digitalisation est l'unique instrument qui va détruire, je dis bien, détruire toutes les projections d'abrutissement qui ont été faites au début des années d'indépendance. Je pense que ces gens, quand ils croyaient qu'en utilisant la barre tribale, ils devaient diviser les Camerounais, les affamer, et ils devaient, n'est-ce pas, les suivre comme des moutons, deviennent désormais déséquilibrés avec la digitalisation. Nous avons déjà Kézan qui est en motion, Kézan qui est l'automation de tout ce que nous faisons physiquement. Ça va donc donner des options à tous ceux qui se trouvent partout sur la planète de faire quelque chose de concret sans tenir compte de la couleur de la peau, sans tenir compte de la tribu. Et chaque individu sera comme une petite entreprise à cause des opportunités que ça offre. Quelle est ta lecture de l'impact de la digitalisation sur la fin du tribalisme?
I think that the digital era has brought a lot of positive changes. First, the spread of information is very important. A lot of things that used to be done in the dark, now you cannot. You had those soldiers who killed women in the north a few years ago, and a video was made and the whole world saw it. Et de plus en plus, les actions étaient faites dans le noir sont connues. Donc, la digitalisation est quelque chose de très bénéfique pour un pays comme le Cameroun. It's a very good thing. And used appropriately, it can bring a lot of change in Cameroon.
C'est clair, ça va apporter beaucoup de changements, pas seulement au Cameroun, mais au niveau de toutes les communautés du monde. C'est le grand équilibreur. Parce que tout le monde aura accès et pourra opérer. Et certains, même parfois, pourront opérer dans le cadre de leur tribu, mais seulement qu'ils n'auront pas assez d'argent puisque c'est un marché beaucoup limité. Donc, le désir ou alors la sagesse de collaborer avec les autres va simplement s'imposer. What do you think?
I think that's probably true, but it's also a very optimistic view of the thing because you have to you have to factor in the analysis the fact that the digital era is for everyone. It's for both those like us who fight against tribalism, but it is also a tool that the tribalists can use to enhance their tribalism.
How do you do that? No, how do you use digitalization? Dr. Kamguia, let us talk about this. You cannot, there is no way you can use digitalization to enhance tribalism. You are killing yourself if you didn't touch it. Listen, you have an example in the USA. The President Trump used the race card, but didn't make it. You saw it. We are witness to the benefit of digitalization. He organized a march in Washington, D.C. to go and attack the Congress. But he lost because of digitalization.
He lost not. I don't think that he lost so much because of digitalization. Because the democracy and the rule of law is more ingrained in this society than let's say in Cameroon.
That's one thing.
Yes. Part may have been the digital era, but an important part of that failure was the fact that the American people are always ready to stand up to dictatorship. Now, but you can see it on the other facet of the coin, is that he actually was able to do that by using the digital tools that were at the disposal of the whole country. Exactly. He chose to use that to spread all sorts of fears and apprehension and hate that sprung those people who were already prone to that type of behavior to follow him. Il avait en quelque sorte un moyen d'atteindre ces gens à travers Facebook, à travers Twitter, et il a utilisé ça pour leur faire le contraire de ce que la société américaine en fait a construit toutes ces technologies-là pour faire. Donc, mon point, c'était que dans de mauvaises mains, la digitalisation peut également être un outil dangereux. Heureusement que généralement, les bonnes mains sont toujours plus habiles et plus nombreuses que les mauvaises mains.
Bon, mais Dr. Kamguia, if you have to come back to the US case, the former president used digitalization to spray his philosophy. The other part, the part against him, used the same digitalization to educate the people.
That's right.
On the limit of his philosophy.
That's right.
Now, many people were rich because of digitalization. People knew about what was going on because of digitalization. And that's why the outcome, the people that came out to vote, were historical. We never have that in America.
That's right.
In American history, we never have that. Because of digitalization, people had access to the information, to the news. And the former president paid for it. He paid for it privately. He paid for it publicly because a lot of people around him went in jail. Now, in the case of Cameroon, digitalization is the life savior. Digitalization is what will get people to be disciplined because the law is not able to get people to be disciplined. Today in Cameroon, on Cameroon TV, on Cameroon News, they are talking about tribalism because of digitalization. Because we, you and I, and other activists are talking about it. They are so loud on tribalism that the news don't have a choice. And tribalists now are afraid. They are blaming the opposition. They are blaming Professor Kamto. Guess what? Professor Kamto is not the president of Cameroon. He cannot set the national tone. The tone of tribalism was set by Mr. Pierre. And he's not giving up. Now they are allowing the news media in Cameroon to talk about it. So there is hope here. For me, I strongly believe that without excess, without being excessive, that digitalization is the savior of the third world, not only Cameroon, in all domains, because it will promote accountability. We will know who is doing what, how much, how well. Is anyone better off? We can count, we'll talk about it. Kazan is there for that. It is already here. So, explain to me how you think those negative tools that were used by the Biya regime to impoverish and to keep in the dark Cameroonians will succeed. There is no way. Those processes are dead. Dead. You tell me, Dr. Kamguia. Go for it.
I don't think that they will succeed. Quite the contrary. A lot of information is already percolating in society because of, let's say, cellular phones, smartphones, and all that. So that's a very good thing. It makes that the people is educated. The people is aware of what is going on. They can no longer hide a killing somewhere and it is only known 10 or 20 years later. Usually when something happens, within days, the whole world knows. So that necessarily forces but
ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kamguia is driving, so sometimes it's going to be a little blurry. That's why the voice, you cannot hear him. But go ahead, Dr. Kamguia, if the thing is normal.
Okay. So my Bluetooth also is losing power, so that may be the problem. But I was saying that, yes, I was saying that the digital era can only, in the long run, help the good cause. My caution to you with your optimism was simply that just as we intend to use digital media to enhance democracy and freedom, they are going to try to use it to enhance whatever philosophy they want the country to have. So it's going to be a constant battle between those two ideas, those two approaches to social organization. In the long run, they are going to lose. I'm confident about that. How long that takes is anyone's guess. In my view, it is too slow. Were it left to me, we will achieve that within 6 months to a year. And to me, you know what I mean. If it takes war, it's war. That's it.
Dr. Kamguia, they are losing already. The CPDM is losing the ground. They are losing everywhere. They are not even able to go on TV panels to discuss, to share their views, because they are being cursed at. They are being cursed at during the debate. They are being cursed at after the debate. So there is a psychological effect. I have a lot of friends that happen to be from the CPDM that will not talk. What they told me in private is, Nestor, I joined that party to make a living. Now I don't give a damn. I invite them to come and talk on my platform. They say, hell no. They say, hell no. I say, why? You are no longer a CPDM member? They say they went in for their stomach. And the stomach is now full. I'm telling you the truth. This is true. So because of the digitalization, they are losing ground. At the beginning, they were so arrogant. Very arrogant, insulting. Now, they are being controlled by the citizen. The power is on the street because of digitalization. And now, when Kazan becomes open to the whole world, And individuals will realize that they can make a living using their feet. They can make a living using a bicycle. They can make a living using their cars. They can make a living using Kazan. Guess what? Cameroonian would be at their best. And all those processes which fracture people to promote management by silos and get them to bump head will disappear. And it is disappearing already. We could see them complaining during debate. How do you explain the fact that the CPGM that has been in power for more than 40 years is blaming Professor Kamto today for the temperature of the country? How do you explain that? Dr. Kamguia, explain this to my audience. I don't know. I don't know.
I cannot explain it. Only the people who do that can explain. I can speculate. Usually, it is well known that people usually credit others for the ills that they do themselves. Quand les gens vous accusent de quelque chose, assez souvent, c'est quelque chose qu'ils font eux-mêmes. And they are trying to run away from their own shadow. So, but we should not be surprised that they are accusing Kamto or anyone else of all those things. That's a tactic that has always been used, and successfully, I must say, to rule Cameroon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
demonized Umnyobe in his time as popular, if not more popular than Kamto is. And they made it a demon, and that has been the technique that they use constantly. Even within the tribe, you had someone like what was his name? Mongo Betty.
yes.
Mongo Betty, which means the son of Betty. That's what it means. But he was ostracized and demonized because he would not play their game. And so when you ask me to explain why or how they can do that, I cannot explain. I can only observe that that's the game they have been playing for all the time that they've been in power.
Very good. Let me say hello to Colin Shakamnana. Let me say hello to Yolande Samira. Welcome all of you. So today we are trying to go bilingual because we were all born in Cameroon and we know Cameroon is a bilingual country. I am very aware that my audience is more Frenchy, but we made a decision to sometimes speak to you in English and with a little bit of French. So tonight is a very particular night that we decided to go bilingual. All right, everyone. So Dr. Kamguia, let me bring another item on board. Mr. Biya regime was able to fracture Cameroonians by tribe and to introduce toxicity within each tribe so that people within tribe should be hating each other and tribe should be fighting against each other so that he can maintain himself in power and take the country downward. That was his intent. So that mentality had an implication on some Cameroonian politicians. We could take a look at your party leader, the surrounding of Professor Kamto. There are a few people that decided to step down or to resign from the party rather than giving their vision for the country, explaining to the country how they will transform their vision into a touchable reality. They don't. What they do is they blame Professor Kamto, but we don't know what is their vision. What is your vision for the country? How will you transform your vision into a touchable reality? And what are your comparative advantage in comparison to other political parties that are running to lead the country? So how do you explain that mentality coming from intellectuals? Dr. Kamguia.
Okay. Yes, I'm driving through an area where the signal is a little poor. So
Yes.
I hope that you can still. I could not hear you very well. So the question that you had asked, please, can you repeat it?
Yes. Let me thank Eileen Jokwa. He's paying attention. Thank you very much. He said you're speaking very slowly, and it allows us to understand and follow you very well. Thanks. That's my intent. When you are speaking in public, it's critical to go slow so people could swallow your word and make sense of them. So my question was, Dr. Kamguia, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. So my question was, why is it that the intellectuals that are surrounding Professor Kamto, the leader of your party, the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, why is it that the people surrounding him are resigning from the party rather than giving the vision for the country and how they will transform this vision into a touchable reality? They are blaming the popularity of the professor.
Okay. Now the answer to that question harks back to the history of Cameroon itself. Do you know a guy named Theodore Mai Matip?
Yes,
do you know him?
I do.
Okay. If you know Theodore Mai Matip of the Union des Populations du Cameroun, who was of the same village almost as the leader Umnyobe, and who stabbed him in the back, essentially, then you have the answer to your question. The rulers will always go in the inner circle of a leader who does not want to align himself with their vision. They will always go and find some weak souls in the inner circle and bribe them to resign, or sometimes to actually harm the leader. That has always been what the French and their puppets do. So sometimes it is just by bribery, but sometimes it is by threat. They actually threaten people that, oh, well, you are not number one. We can make you number one. That's one of the things that they try. They will go and see the people surrounding him and say, well, you are not the one actually leading. We can make you the leader. We can, etc. And you know the human being. We are greedy, we are ambitious, and some people fall for that. So they have those things that bribery and threat. That's what they do, and some people fall for that. So those that you have seen who have resigned, they can be either because they were easily bribable, or they could have been threatened. You have to go and dig into the what led them to do what they do or what they did. But I'm sorry, I've been long. I should try to be shorter. Yes,
it's good. It's good. I like the answer. But I still have other questions in this line. When they bribe you, when you accept bribes, is it part of the contract that you should go in public and embarrass yourself?
Oh, yes. Usually when they bribe you, they give you exactly what you must do to achieve their goal.
But they make you look like stupid, and then you say, okay, yes, I'll go be a stupid.
Well, you know that's more complicated than that. When you have the threat, when you, let's say someone who has never earned 5 million in his life, and here they come with 500 million. Well, there are a lot of people who go and embarrass themselves for 500 million. A lot. I know a lot of them.
You know, I get confused at times when I see people that are holders of
Okay,
top degrees.
I'm going through another area where the signal
okay.
is not very good.
Okay.
But go ahead. You can continue. I can hear you now.
Yeah. So basically what I was saying is it is disturbing to see a person with a lot of degrees, with political experience, going on TV to criticize the popularity of a person, announcing their organization, but not giving their vision for the country, not talking about how they would transform their vision into a touchable reality, not talking about their competitive advantage compared to other political parties, for me is disappointing. It is disappointing, seriously. And it is a major embarrassment because the world is watching. Are they even aware with the fact that the world is watching every single word and actions from them? Do you think they're aware of it?
I think they are, but they think they can be smarter than the rest of us. Let me, again, those things did not start yesterday. Do you know another guy that was commonly known by the nickname Zero More in Cameroon?
Yes. He's from your village.
That's also an intellectual, a very high caliber intellectual.
Yes.
I would say, I would argue that he is of the same caliber as Kamto. He went on TV, national TV, after they had killed students at university and declared that il y a eu zéro mort. So,
yes,
that explains to you that being intellectual does not, the moral strength, the strength of character that Kamto has doesn't even come from the fact that he's an intellectual. It comes from his upbringing. That's how he grew up, with character. Then you have some people who have a lot of bookish knowledge but have no character. Those are the ones who will go and tell you that here is zero more. Those are the ones who are going to go and embarrass themselves, as you say.
True.
I'm sure that the government must have approached Professor Kamto with an offer of a lot of money for him to give up. But he has not, because money and getting rich is not the purpose of his life.
No. Professor, there's no question with the fact that Professor Kamto is ready for his aspiration. He is ready. There are three factors that can explain his posture, and I can use the same three elements to explain the way people around him are behaving, and that's why they are reporting from the party. Okay? The first one, you just say the character. The second one, his expertise. He's at the top. He's among the best on earth. And the third one is the self-belief. The man strongly believes in himself. He said he knows where he's going and that we will get there. He said it, And if you take those three elements and you map it to all the other political figures that are around him or the other opposition parties, they will be very weak with those factors. They might be strong on the skill set, but when it comes to character and self-beliefs, they will be very weak, and that's where Professor Kamto is up there. So people need to understand that a tree that bears fruit shall be stoned. So no one should be frustrated when Professor Kamto is being stoned. A tree that bears fruit shall be stoned. What do you think, Dr. Kamguia?
I think you are perfectly right. Of all the things that make a true leader, character, I believe, is the most important. It's not so much education.
Yep.
For instance,
it matters, Dr. Kamguia. I have a formula here. Let me show you something. Go ahead with your demonstration.
I say, For instance, Paul Biya was highly educated compared to his predecessor Amadou Ahidjo.
Dr. Kam, can you see this formula?
Yes, I can see that. But driving, I see four circles with the links between them.
Good. So basically, the last circle is like success. I will call it posture. I'm going to improve this formula to call it posture. Your current posture, your condition, your current condition is resulting from your attitude, which you can improve, your skill set, which you can improve, and your self-belief, which you can improve. So everyone that is somewhere in life went through this without even knowing. I'm just saying it. I don't want to emphasize on the skill set because it only represents 20% in this formula. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But Dr. Kamguia, I'll let you talk.
Yeah, so I was saying that character is the most important thing in a leader. Ahidjo had character and did not have education. Biya has education but no character. And you can see the difference between the two leaders. And in terms of their behavior and in terms of their achievements.
Exactly.
So we are lucky that Professor Kamto, in addition to having a first-class, world-class intellect,
yes,
also has a world-class character.
yes,
and that's a rare combination in a human being in our country.
yes,
So he is really a treasure for the country. But
yes.
see how those people are treating him. In other places, they beg to have people like that. Here in the United States, the US will give Kamto citizenship tomorrow if
Yes.
he requested it.
Yes. But Dr. Kamguia, but you also know that a tree that bear fruit shall be stoned.
That's true.
That's it.
That's actually said in the Bible, I believe.
That's it. A tree that bear fruit shall be stoned. I mean, come on. Come on. They cannot stone everyone. What don't they stone me? What don't they stone you? Okay. So, okay, I have some announcement, okay, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to know that on August 7, Cameroonians are going back to Geneva. That will be Operation Catch and Toe. On August 6, Cameroonians are going to be protesting in front of the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C. It will start at 9 o'clock and ending at noon, 12. That's one announcement. And those are the two announcements that I have. Dr. Kamguia, you have any announcement for people watching us?
No, I don't have any announcement. The protest march that was organized or planned in Cameroon, I don't know what the status is, but I've heard that, as usual, it has been
Cancelled.
not cancelled, but it did not receive, it did not obtain the authorization. Yes, it has been unauthorized.
Yes.
And the problem with the demonstrations is the following, in time, people are going to get tired of demonstration. That actually is what France and his puppets are counting on, and they are masters in that game. They know how to play the clock and get you to spend your resources, spin your wheels, and then the group starts peeling off. People start peeling off the original resolve. That's why they always go for that. They take you through hardship and time. They know they have to stay in power with the money that they steal. You have to spend your resources to do all your activities. That's why, personally, I've always advocated a strong, resolute action that if it has to lead to war, let it lead to war. Let the chips fall where they may. I always say, when Hitler thought that he was going to rule the world, we did not go begging him. to go home. We took bombs and ships and we landed and stormed the beaches of Normandy and kicked him out of there. And that's what needs to happen to this guy in Cameroon.
As a veteran, I do not promote war. I am for a peaceful transition of power. I am for the respect of our institution, for our democratic processes. If we can have that, then everything will be just fine. But concerning...
Unfortunately, sir, you cannot do politics of a country with ifs. Yes, if you can have that, everything will be fine. What if not? If not, then what do you do? What is your recipe?
No, Dr. Kamguia, I am for a peaceful transfer of power.
And that's why I say I don't care whether he wants it or doesn't want it. That is completely immaterial to me. What is material is that the rule of law says the following: every vote counts and is equivalent, and when you vote, it has to be counted. And they violated that rule. Once they violate that rule, everything is game. As far as I'm concerned, everything is game. Whether it's bombs, whether it's whatever, it's game.
No, I will not advocate for the killing of anyone because of politics.
I'm not advocating for killing. I'm advocating when you are in a dialogue with someone, you and I can communicate because we understand each other's language. If you are having a discussion with someone and you are speaking Chinese and he's speaking German, you cannot have a conversation. You have to have one common language.
Then you find an interpreter.
And if they cannot learn your language, you can learn their language. Their language is force. I can learn force. I don't want force. I don't want violence, but I can learn it. I can learn it. I can use it. I can use it better than them. And that's what I want people to understand, that all that stuff, we don't have to be begging them. We don't have to beg.
No, we are not begging. We are not begging.
Have to enforce. Okay, so let's go and enforce the verdict of October 7, 2018. That was 2 years and a half ago. That has not been enforced yet. The people spoke and nobody has enforced it. It needs to be enforced. And when we say law enforcement, c'est pas pour rien qu'on utilise ce terme. Les forces du maintien de l'ordre. Ça ne dit pas les, comment dire, les commandeurs du maintien de l'ordre. Ça dit bien les forces du maintien de l'ordre. So, you have to use force where it is necessary. And when the people of Cameroon spoke on October 7, 2018, if someone doesn't want to listen, you have to actually enforce it. That means use force. That's what it means.
Enforcing also means using all the tools in our toolbox. We have our legal system in Cameroon. We have a legal system on our continent. And we have a legal system in the world, the United Nations Security Council. What we need is to have the intervention of the UN Security Council in those type of issues. That's what I strongly believe we should do. Now, talking about...
Let's debate that a little bit.
Give me a minute. I will learn and then I'll come back to you. Just 1 minute. Yes. Since 2016, if we count 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, we are in 21. This is the 6th year in a war between the English-speaking part of the country and the French government of the country. 6th year. We are still experiencing the killings of civilians and the killings of people in uniform. It is not funny. They are not going to come back. And most recently, we saw the president and the former president of every cost, giving each other a hug. Guess what? The people that were killed because of their disagreement will not come back. These people were in uniform. These people were civilians. They are no longer part of this earth. And a lot of children were abandoned because the parents were killed. Some of them found themselves in neighboring countries, like it is the case for the English part of Cameroon. So I think we need to do what we are doing, to keep talking about the temperature, the absence of peace in Cameroon, and to call on the United Nations Security Council, to call on American institutions and other institutions around the world to chip in, because if they keep looking on the other side, they are equally guilty as the regime in Yaoundé. Now you have the floor.
All right. Again, I had some difficulty hearing you because of interference by all sorts of electric poles, etc. as I drive. But if I heard you well, you are saying that you don't want to lose any human lives. Essentially, that's basically that argument. Okay, I hear it, but I'll only take human history. In World War I and World War II, the allies, Americans and French and all those, they did not want to lose any human being either. Nobody goes into those things for the purpose that, oh, I want to kill people. No. It is a balance between what is the price to pay by doing what we are doing and trying to stop what is happening. Okay. So let me make it really understandable. If you count the number of people who die in Cameroon because of disease, because of bad hospital, because of bad roads, because of lack of water, because of crime, because of malnutrition, because of pollution, if you count all those over a period of 1 year, over the entire country, believe me, it will be more than the people who can be killed in an uprising that lasts 3 months. We lose more lives. The only difference is that it is insidious. You don't see it. You don't feel it. When there's a brutal uprising, you see bodies in the street, and that frightens you. But in everyday life, you have people in all corners of the country who are dying. Nobody is seeing them. I have a member of my family who is dying from renal failure because there's no dialysis. There are thousands like that. They die all the time. And when we want to institute a government that would prevent all those deaths, there may be a price to pay, which is the price that you have to pay by using force. That's what I'm saying. That we always have that argument about this, but the reality c'est un faux argument. Dans la vie pratique de tous les jours, nous perdons plus de gens qui meurent à cause des mauvaises conditions dans le pays. Et cumulativement, c'est une perte beaucoup plus importante que la perte de 5000 personnes au cours d'une insurrection. Franchement, si on perd 5000 personnes au cours d'une insurrection, c'est rien par rapport au nombre de gens qu'on perd au Cameroun à cause d'un mauvais gouvernement dans une année.
Dr. Kamguia, every time a person dies, it's never nothing. It is always something. Because this person might be a father to someone, a mother to someone, an uncle to someone.
But there's still, I understand that.
Yes,
no. I understand that. But you cannot let yourself be dominated by that.
La partie adverse connaît exactement ça. C'est là-dessus qu'il joue.
Non.
Il joue sur le fait qu'on va avoir peur. Oh, le père de ceci va mourir, la mère de ceci va mourir. Je suis en train de dire que si un peuple est résolu et annonce même les couleurs, ça va même les empêcher de faire ça. Si on va à une marche au Cameroun en disant ceci, je le répète, on va à une marche en disant nous voulons marcher tranquillement, paisiblement, ne nous provoquez pas. Si un militaire ou n'importe qui nous provoque, on l'égorge sur place. Aucun de n'osera le faire. They will not try. Because no matter how many they are, if you have 500,000 people in the street, the police, toute l'armée camerounaise ne peut pas contenir ça. They will not even try. Mais ils utilisent ce fait psychologique-là pour que les gens aient peur. Oh, le père de tel va mourir. Ouais, le père de tel va mourir de crise cardiaque de toute façon. Le père de tel va mourir de pauvreté de toute façon.
And death is the only door out of life. So nobody should be afraid of dying. And no one knows how they are going to leave this earth. I'm just trying to not promote violence.
I'm not promoting violence. I'm promoting the use of force. Force is not violence.
No, Dr. Kamguia. The use of force by civilians.
Yes, I stand by that. The use of force. I'm all for the use of force to oppose force.
1 second. The use of force by civilians can be called violence.
No, the use of force by anyone who is acting in violation of the law. That is violence. When you are using force to defend one his right, that is violence. But when you use force to rectify a wrong, that's not violence. Even in the Bible, Jesus Christ took a whip in church. That was the use of force. It is sanctioned by God.
Listen, I strongly believe that the current methodology, which consists of not giving peace to the president every time he's out of the country, is efficient because it's doing at
I
least.
Don't think so.
No,
I don't think it's efficient.
I will tell you why. It is annoying the residents of the countries that are hosting him. That's one. It is calling on the attention of the international community, which is faking to not acknowledge what is going on in Cameroon. And third, knowing the personality of the current president, it is extremely uncomfortable for him. This is not something he is used to. This is not something he's familiar with.
My host, I must say, for one, I have to vehemently disagree with you on that. Il s'en fout complètement. Si ça lui faisait quelque chose, il ne serait plus allé. Non, attends.
No, Dr. Kamguia, then why are they crying? Did you read the letter from the Minister of Communications?
Non, ça c'est les larmes de crocodile. Si ça lui faisait vraiment quelque chose, il ne serait plus allé à Genève. He would not have gone there. He was chased out of there the first time. He went there again. It means he doesn't care. Vous pouvez démontrer. Tu sais, il y a un truc français qui dit, attends, at a tool boat and I don't see anyone to collect my money here. What do I do?
You just go. They will send it to you in the mail.
No. They are going to give me a ticket for passing without paying.
They will send it to you in the mail.
Not here.
Like the third one in that part of the country, you don't have mail.
I know the state of Virginia. They don't do that here. But anyway, what I was trying to say.
You will stay there for the whole night?
No, I'm not. I'm going to I'm figuring out. Let me answer you this.
All
Because
right.
people are watching us and in this debate. What I'm telling you is that en français, il y a un dicton, je ne sais pas comment on appelait ça, qui dit le chien aboie et la caravane passe. That's what they are doing.
No, I disagree.
Je te dis que you can disagree, but we'll revisit it 10 years if we keep doing that, because it's not going to go anywhere if we keep doing that. We've done that in the past. In 1992, il y a eu les villes mortes. Pendant des mois, on a tout paralysé et tout. So we have to learn from history. I'm saying that again, even if he works, the price is too high. The price of what we are doing is too high. Over time, the price is 10 or 100 times the price that it would take to make a push for using force in 3 months and solve this thing. The price is too high. It's way too high. The only thing is that in one case, the price is, comment dire, c'est spectaculaire, c'est choquant. De l'autre, c'est insidieux. Les gens meurent dans leur petit coin tranquillement. Les gens meurent dans leur petit coin tranquillement chaque jour. J'en connais, j'en ai dans ma famille, je te dis. Des gens qu'on pourrait sauver dans ce pays. Depuis 2 heures qu'on parle, je suis en train de conduire sur une autoroute. Je suis pratiquement en sécurité. Tu peux essayer de faire ça au Cameroun? Je serais mort depuis. Je serais mort.
Dr. Kamguia, I agree with your assessment of people dying at a higher rate in cities, villages, and not being counted as dead because of the political system, because of the way the country is being run. I agree with you on that, but I also want to remind you that this regime is at the end.
No, again, that is one thing that
we don't need to get people to get out there and kill anyone or punch anyone back because they threw a punch at us. We know who they are. We know how they talk. We know how they act. Today they are weak. This regime is absolutely weak. They were challenged by the Nozo. And since 2016, they are not able to end a war among brothers and sisters. It says a lot.
Well, you know, I don't know. I will just tell you that I don't think that you have the right analysis there. That regime is not as weak as you think, and it is not on its way out, because the regime is not one man. Bia actually is almost irrelevant. He is irrelevant. He is not even the one actually ruling the country. It's a whole system. C'est la France-Afrique. Après Bia, ce sera un autre Bia. Le système va aller nulle part.
No, Dr. Kamguia, I will disagree with you on that one, and I will tell you why. Listen, I can explain what you just said. In terms of character, in terms of when you study the correlation between the conscious and the subconscious mind, you can learn to that conclusion, because what happened is people in this regime have the same behavior as the ones in the opposition. Same behavior. Because when you go within the oppositions, you will see tribalism. You will see management by silos. People cannot get along because of the way they were nourished. They were fed by the same food, the food of fracturation, the food of division. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So that's why.
But that's not going to. Well, my point is that that's not going to go away.
The difference here is fish perish by the head. The new leader, believe it or not, if people want Cameroon to be in peace. If the French want peace in Cameroon, they better let Kamto rule that country. I'm being honest.
Mais ça, c'est là que ton château de cartes s'effondre. C'était if, si. On dit avec des si, on peut, je sais pas, construire des châteaux en Espagne. Ceci-là ne va jamais se passer. It's not going to happen.
Listen, Leonie Lusobo is in agreement with you. He's not in agreement with me. Our buddy here.
Who is in agreement with who?
He's in agreement with you. He's not in agreement with me. He said, no, Mr. Nestor, they have not started. They are going to be there for the rest of their life.
They are going to be there. I'm telling you that the only thing that will get them there is not the book. It's not the law. We have tried that. They have demonstrated that they don't care. But there's one thing that they care about, and they have demonstrated it. They fear force. They fear it. They don't fear the law. Kamto can go and give lessons of international law. I said they don't give a damn. They don't care. They care about force. Le petit calibro là, il les fait trembler. So, I'm telling you that we have to use force. Je ne parle pas de la violence. Parce que quand je parle de force, les gens tous violent. Je dis bien la force. Je te dis que moi, si je devais organiser les marches au Cameroun, si moi, je devais les organiser, je ne peux pas faire sortir les gens avec des branches de Fincan au Cameroun. Je vais les faire sortir avec des frondes et des cocktails Molotov. Et la discipline, c'est vous n'attaquez personne. Vous n'insultez même pas quelqu'un. Mais si quelqu'un vous gifle, vous lui cassez la mâchoire. Yes, if you do that, si on fait ça sur 2-3 personnes, le reste, ils vont prendre la poudre de tempête. They're going to run.
Question to you. You are a Cameroonian. What is stopping you from taking that leadership role? Why do you want to assign it to somebody else? Why don't you take that role and make it happen?
Je vais te répondre. People ask that question all the time. Vous allez vous cacher à l'étranger et puis vous encouragez les enfants les autres.
I didn't say you're hiding. I just asked, why don't you take that leadership role?
Why don't I take that leadership role? Because there must be theoreticians or theoricians. Il doit y avoir des théoriciens de quelque chose. Il y a des gens qui expliquent cela et il y a des gens qui le mettent en pratique. Tout le monde ne fait pas la même chose. Tu ne peux pas demander à un théoricien de quelque chose d'être celui qui le met en pratique. Karl Marx a mis la théorie du communisme dans un livre. Il n'a jamais dirigé un mouvement, quoi que ce soit. C'est Lénine qui a mis ça en pratique. Donc, il faut que chacun reste dans son couloir. Mais en plus, le fait, c'est que je ne suis pas au Cameroun. Quand j'étais au Cameroun, si tu vas là-bas, tu peux aller au Cameroun, tu vas demander, je vais te dire, va demander au commissaire Adamou, je ne vais pas citer leur nom. Mais il y a un certain nombre de personnes au Cameroun qui savent. Donc, quand j'étais au Cameroun, je le faisais. L'embêtant, c'est que quand tu le fais et tu es tout seul, c'est une épée dans l'eau. Donc, ça n'a pas l'effet voulu. Non. Ce que j'essaie de faire ici, et ce qu'on devrait essayer de faire, c'est faire comprendre aux Camerounais. Le professeur Franklin Nyamsi, il a expliqué ça fatigué. C'est un problème de nombre. Je dis encore une fois que toutes les forces armées camerounaises, tout corps confondu, c'est 15 000 hommes au maximum. Si tu alignes 100 personnes sur chacun des 15 000, ça fait combien? 100 fois 15 000, ça fait c'est combien? 150 000? Non, pas 150 000. Ça ferait 1 500 000. Oui, ça ferait 1 500 000. Il y a 27 millions de Camerounais, parmi lesquels, quand il y a eu le boycott de l'élection dernièrement, c'était 80%. Donc, on peut se dire que ces 80% étaient d'accord avec les revendications que représentait le professeur Maurice Kamto. Prenons seulement la moitié de ces 80%, ça fait 40%. 40% de 27 millions, c'est combien? C'est environ 15 millions. Disons que là-dedans, on va enlever toutes les femmes et les enfants. Il resterait au moins 3 millions d'hommes en chair, en eau, comme toi et moi, qui peuvent décider qu'aujourd'hui, c'est aujourd'hui, comme on dit. Today, not today. on descend dans la rue là, on rentre avec notre président à étudier, ou bien on reste sur le carreau. Voilà l'attitude qu'il faut avoir. Je rentre avec les victoires, ou bien je reste sur le carreau. En guerre, d'ailleurs, c'est ce que les généraux font pour gagner. Quand ils envoient leurs unités, monsieur, vous gagnez ça ou vous restez sur le carreau.
I wouldn't say that.
Et là, quand quelqu'un a cette attitude-là, you cannot defeat him. Tu ne peux pas.
No,
quand quelqu'un a décidé qu'aujourd'hui, today not today, tu ne peux pas le défaire.
Okay, to people watching us, the link is public. If you want to come in studio and share your opinion, you are welcome to do so. I've been talking to Dr. Kamguia for at least 1 hour and 11 minutes. We are almost at the end of this conversation, an interesting conversation. We started talking about tribalism, and now we are talking about the effect of tribalism, which is the bad temperature of the country. That's why he's talking about how to free Cameroonian and make them matter. We just happen to disagree with the process. I believe in a peaceful process. He believes in the use of force. Two different processes, but we all want the same result at the end. A peaceful country with people respecting each other. A country that will become the best hope of earth, which is my vision for the country, making Cameroon the best hope of earth. I strongly believe that it is possible. It is possible because hope has no finish line. I still have hope. I think we'll make it there. But it will take a lot of energy. It will take a lot of effort. It will take a lot of renewal, personal renewal, because we were nourished. We were nourished by loser mentality. This regime is made of losers. And what they fed Cameroonian with was the loser mentalities. That's why it is difficult even for the opposition to come together. That's why it is difficult for Cameroonians to work with each other. Loser mentality. The key, according to me, is for each of us to embrace the winner mentality, to claim our humanism, and to claim our country. That, for me, is the key. I think if we have a lot of winners, we have a lot of people that understand that they deserve to be respected on their land. They deserve to live free. They deserve to celebrate their lives without being afraid. They deserve to protest. They deserve to hold the government accountable. Then we will be able to ask irresponsible leaders to resign, to step out, because the sovereignty of a nation belongs to the people. That's my posture. We need more winners. That's what we need. Now, the link is public. If you want to come and weigh in, you're welcome to do so. If you didn't know, you want to say something? Yes?
Let me try one more time, because saying that have and don't have a peaceful approach is not actually correct. I'm among the most peace lovers that you can have.
But you're promoting the use of force, Dr. Kamguia. Is that peaceful?
Yes, and I say so. I maintain that the use of force is a peaceful thing. It prevents harm done by those who would have used that force to harm. Listen, if the use of force was so bad, no country in the world would have an army. An army is not meant, c'est pas des enfants de cœur. Une armée, ce n'est pas pour aller faire le babysitting. Une armée, c'est pour utiliser la force pour imposer quelque chose que la société a décidé. Ce n'est pas quand on est en train de circuler ici dans ce pays, j'étais en train de circuler, il y a vitesse limite. Si je roule à vitesse dépassant la limite, le policier vient, il me parle tout gentiment, mais si je me rebiffe un peu, tu sais ce qui va se passer? C'est les menottes immédiatement et puis il m'embarque au Niouf. Je dis que le peuple camerounais a parlé le 7 octobre 2018. Le peuple camerounais a parlé clairement. Et quelqu'un s'est rebiffé. Et vous passez le temps à le prier. Non, la police ne fait pas, on t'embarque. Tu te rebiffes, on t'embarque. C'est terminé. Il n'y a pas à négocier avec ce monsieur. Il n'y a aucune négociation à faire avec lui. Parce qu'il est en violation de la loi. Il est en violation de la volonté du peuple. Le peuple doit donc enforce his decision. Donc, maintenant, même sur le plan de vue économique, je dis que ça nous est moins cher to enforce it with force than to see the thinking that tu as parlé, par exemple, on demanderait aux gens de démissionner. Are you out of your mind? Do you really think that will work? Moi, prends-moi si là, tu mets là-bas, tu viens me demander, oh, on te demande un monsieur, je te dis, on ne démissionne pas. Tu vas faire quoi? What are you going to do? I'm going to tell you, va te faire foutre, je ne démissionne pas. La seule chose qui va me faire démissionner, c'est si tu opposes une force qui me force à démissionner. And that's how they are going to behave.
Dr. Kamguia,
oui.
This is my point. We have to use all the tools in our toolbox.
Including force.
Hold on.
That's part of the tools.
Oh, hold on. Maybe when we rank the tools, the force might be at the end. Maybe we have 10 tools that we need to use in sequence, in order.
Tell me which one we haven't used that is not force. Which one have not?
We have institutions in Cameroon. We went there. That's one. We have institution in Africa, the African Union. We are there.
Come to one there.
We have institution in the world, the United Nations. And the United Nations has a lot of offices, and the most efficient one, the ones that can dominate, is the United Nations Security Council.
Okay, let me hold you there for 1 minute and tell you the following before you continue.
Yes.
Tu perds ton temps si tu comptes sur le Conseil de sécurité. Why? Because France has a veto. So, if you want, rather than going to Conseil de sécurité, just go to France.
France is not, no. France is not the only country that has veto within the Security Council.
But a veto is a veto. Ça veut dire qu'au Conseil de sécurité, même seulement pour condamner le régime de Cameroun, la France peut dire à veto it. C'est terminé. Tout le monde entier peut condamner le Cameroun. La France dit j'utilise mon droit de veto. C'est terminé.
But
il faut être réaliste.
No, it's not about realism. It is about respect for the process. Okay? We want the case of Cameroon to land on the desk so that the public knows that this was the decision by the United Nations Security Council that we don't have. And it is a major tool in our toolbox.
But there I'm saying that that's wishful thinking.
No, you will
the Security Council.
I gave you the assumptions that we have a toolbox.
Yes.
Tools that we can rank from 1 to 10 and use them in that order. And I say the force that you're proning should be number 10.
Okay, let's say it's number 10. I'm just arguing with you that some of the tools that you think that you can use, you cannot use it. There's no...
Why will you lose hope?
Okay, but let me take the Security Council that you are talking about. Cite-moi le précédent où le Conseil de sécurité des Nations Unies a obligé un gouvernement illégal dans un pays à démissionner. Give me that one precedent.
Dr. Kamguia, it's not about precedent. It's about going there and appreciating the result. Everything has a beginning. We cannot be focusing on history to draw conclusions, to assume that if we use that route, if we use this process, the result is going to be the same as the one of our neighboring countries. No.
It is going to be. It is going to be because history, only the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior.
No, that's
we know what past has been.
That is not a scientific statement. That scientific statement is crowded with errors. You know that. Okay?
What?
Saying that your future behavior should be predicted by the past behaviors is not scientifically correct. I say it is crowded with errors.
No, it is scientifically correct. It means that to predict the future,
depend on the
my best, since I cannot know the future, my best thing to predict what's going to happen is to see what happened in the past, because history has a tendency to repeat itself. That's why. Quand un enfant naît, la meilleure prédiction de ce qui va lui arriver, c'est de voir qu'est-ce qui est arrivé à d'autres enfants qui sont nés. Ces enfants ont grandi et puis sont morts. Donc, quand cet enfant naît aujourd'hui, je peux prédire qu'il va grandir et il va mourir.
Dr. Yes. There are no rules without exceptions, okay? The exceptions are the ones that confirm that this is a rule. So let us assume that we are the exceptions.
Okay.
Okay. So the assumption is, if we go in front of the United Nations Security Council, we will be able to appreciate the result. Then your argument will make sense.
Nestor, again,
I don't want to
I'm asking you from a practical standpoint.
No.
What leg are you going to use to even stand in front of the United Nations?
No, we have legs to go.
En qualité de quoi?
Hold on. The number of killings in Cameroon, there are prerequisites for the Security Council to accept your application. The number of killings.
Who is going to make the application?
Anyone need to create pressure. We wrote to the Security Council, okay? I belong to a team that sent a letter there. There are other teams that are sending letters there. That's what people need to do.
You know what has been proven that the Security Council listens to? And I can show you many examples. The Security Council listens to crisis. If you create a crisis, then the Security Council will pay attention. La preuve, c'est que they pay attention to the problem of the Anglophone uprising because of the crisis. But in order for them to pay attention, Field Marshal had to actually raise an army and start shooting people. That's what makes them react. And that's what I'm telling you. That I'm just studying history of human societies.
They reacted, and then what did they do? Listen, right now, those killings are still going on. Okay?
Yes.
The war is not over. It is not over. And at this particular time, the time T, as I'm talking to you, this regime is weak because the assumption is that the Bamileke people will bear arms and they will not be able to handle it because the Anglophone are still fighting. So at this time, they are just waiting for the Bamileke people to bear arms, and I think they will run out of the country.
And that's probably what people should do. That would save us a lot of headache, a lot of treasure, and a lot of lives. Believe me, that would say, écoute, depuis que les anglophones se sont révoltés, Le truc dure même parce qu'en fait, ils n'ont pas été joints par une grande majorité de gens. Je te dis que les dictateurs ne répondent pas à la raison. Les dictateurs, je ne connais aucune dictature dans l'histoire de toute l'humanité qui a répondu à la raison. They don't. They listen to force. That's all. That's the language they understand.
That is why they are very, very careful. They are working on X. They are working on X at this time, this regime. I'm telling you, it's over. And the
ils te donnent l'impression.
Hold on. I'm telling you, this is my appreciation. This is my the way I see things. They are overwhelmed, and they have only one option, and I'm sure they will give up. You people,
they are not going to.
There are people that say they are not going to. I promise you, they will give up.
I'm telling you, they are not going to. Okay. They are going to give up like Aijo gave up. Aijo gave up. But Aijo gave up to another Aijo, in fact, to a worse Aijo. I'm telling you that they are preparing from Bia. They are preparing this and then that. Bia ne va aller nulle part. Parce que ce n'est pas Bia en contre lui-même, c'est la France-Afrique. C'est un régime, c'est depuis le général de Gaulle, Charles de Gaulle. They are the one who put that in place. Ce n'est pas seulement au Cameroun.
You will be surprised.
C'est dans tous les 14 pays francophones.
You will be surprised.
Et chaque fois que tu as un leader qui lève la tête, on l'élimine physiquement. That's what they do. Même quand ils vont essayer de l'éliminer physiquement. That's what they do. And we have to know that. And we have to act before they act. I don't know, je ne sais pas comment. Vous êtes autiste ou bien comment. Vous voyez l'histoire tous les jours se dérouler devant vous. On tue Oubniobe, on tue Kadhafi, on tue Sankara, on tue Lumumba, etc. Et vous croyez toujours que vous allez aller parler aux Nations Unies. They don't care.
Anyway.
Donc, pour ce qui me concerne, le Cameroun peut résoudre son problème lui-même en l'espace de 6 mois, pas plus que ça. La preuve, le Rwanda a résolu son problème en 3 mois il y a 25 ans. C'est terminé. Ils sont en paix maintenant. Et ils sont en paix et en progrès. Mais ils ont payé le prix. On doit savoir que ces choses ont un prix.
And Cameroon is at war since 2016.
Because they are not doing it right. C'est une guérilla. C'est pas une révolution comme par exemple ce qu'on a vu au Rwanda. C'est pas quelque chose comme ce qu'on a vu au Vietnam ou bien en Algérie. À some point, il faut seulement leur dire, monsieur, l'heure a sonné, c'est terminé. C'est terminé. Il n'y a pas de discussion. Tu es dehors, terminé. Et ce n'est pas une question, je ne vais jamais si tu es mon adversaire dans ces conditions-là, je ne vais jamais jeter la première pierre ou donner le premier coup. Never. I'm going to go, j'occupe la rue, toutes les rues de Yaoundé aujourd'hui. On veut aller, on s'assoit seulement par terre. On occupe, personne ne bouge. We are going to just sit there. That's all. Mais ne me touche pas. Si tu me touches, alors là, c'est l'Armageddon. Et c'est la seule attitude à avoir pour que ces gens-là partent. Il faut qu'ils comprennent qu'ils risquent leur propre vie, leur peau là, que ça va partir.
Dr. Kamguia, it doesn't hold ground because since 2016, killing has been going on. So
ils sont trop peu nombreux. That's what I'm telling you.
They have sophisticated weapons and they have some support from people we don't know. Because to have new uniforms, have weapons going in a country, listen, it takes more than what you think. It takes more than just being in disagreement with the regime. For get in a country and the government have some of these weapons, they know the manufacturer, they know the reseller.
Yes, we would simply disagree that.
It means things are complex. They are more complicated than that. Okay. There we go. So, Dr. Kamguia, I think we spoke a lot tonight. We went from tribalism to the effect of tribalism.
Yes,
And I had the link public. No one came in. So I think I will give you the last word. Since no one wants to come and...
Well, the last word, what do you want? As I said, that I think we should make a special effort to have a lot more people participate in this debate and bring different perspective of things. My point is simply that when I analyze human history,
the link was public. No, listen, Dr. Kamguia, we have to be careful. We have to be very careful with focusing on history all the times. The realities of yesterday are at 80% so significantly different from the realities of today. The tools that are available to us to communicate with one another were not available yesterday. So the condition, the assumptions are absolutely different. We need to reinvent the process to freedom. We cannot just hang on what was happening. Even the culture, the cultures are evolving. The attitude, everything is changing. So we cannot just look at history and assume that by applying the same theories, the same practices, we will have the same result. Hell no. We need to reinvent our processes to have what we want. There is an urgent call for new processes.
But we haven't even tried.
No, we did. We are. Today, you and I are talking.
We haven't even tried. No, let me tell you. No, but I'm telling you, we haven't actually tried the use of force. We have not. No, the everything that has been done since October 7, 2018, nothing has involved force. The only force that has been used actually have been used out of Cameroon by the Brigade Anti-Star. And you saw the effect that they've had. They did not go there begging for anything. They used force. And you saw the result. And I'm saying that when I see that again and again and again throughout history, I'm not going to be inventing a new equation when the solution is there. They are telling you that it's a matter of numbers. They are telling you that if you can have 500,000 people occupy the city of Yaoundé, the army will not do anything. But the issue is, how do we get 500,000 people to occupy the streets?
Good question. Good question. Why?
That's because our problem.
People have been brainwashed. Can you undo that? That's the first step. It's a mindset thing. When you are brainwashed, they need to reprogram. You're taking it lightly. You are taking it lightly. People have been brainwashed, nourished with fear, and what we need, and this fear are encoded in their subconscious mind. So the natural reaction when it comes to defending your country or expressing your freedom is fear. So we need to go and review those codes in the subconscious mind. You need to do that.
And that is exactly why I'm advocating jump straight to the solution, which is the use of force. And I'm showing you that it is something that is actually ordained by God. Go and read the Bible. Every single time in the Bible, God had to fix something.
The Quran, Dr. Kamguia, Cameroon have more than 20% Muslims. So we cannot just use the Bible as referential. Okay? We have our body here, Catalyst Njike, who says no next stop. People are just selfish. Selfishness is something that Cameroon did purposely to get people to be selfish. It's part of the code that we need to review. We need to reprogram our subconscious mind. That's where the work needs to happen. People can yell as they want. They can slam on the table as they want, but if you're not convinced personally of what you are doing, nothing will happen. You have the floor, Dr. Kamguia. Go ahead.
I'm saying that you who are talking there, if you if you want to go and protest in the street, and you do not have the mental attitude that nobody is going to get in the way of my protest, even if it means war and a dead body. If you don't have that mental status, I can get you out in no time. I'm just going to get a gun. I'm going to shoot in air. I'm going to shoot in your foot, and you are going to run.
Oh,
you have to first have that mental status that
yeah.
if it, you have to have that mental status that this thing, it is not today. C'est tout. That is has to be the mental status. Today, not today.
That's why.
Je rends la victoire ou bien je reste sur le carreau.
No, that is why we need to help people reprogram their mind. It's a mindset thing, and I agree with you on that. We are losing Dr. Kamguia because of the network things, the connection issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to participate to this debate, the link is there. The link is public. I will give you some 2-3 minutes to come in the studio and share your thought. You see, I've been speaking English for some time now. I don't feel like switching back in French. Cameroon is bilingual. We need to show some accountability, some self-accountability. Okay? We cannot always be speaking French. We cannot always be integrating the French audience. We need to integrate everyone. Okay? So I will give you a few minutes. The link is there. Come in studio and share your views with the world. You will speak in French if you want to, but my feedback will be in English. That's my decision for tonight. So I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes to make the decision. If you want to come in, the link is there. Just come in and then we'll talk. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then we end the show. If no one shows up, I'll end the show in 5 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end. I have to thank you for your time. It was both a pleasure and a privilege to share this moment with you, talking about tribalism in Cameroon and its effect on the population. I want you to know that no one is accountable for their tribe. No one is accountable for the color of their skin. No one is accountable for their place of birth. No one is accountable for their family. For these reasons, for this lack of accountability, you should not blame yourself for speaking a particular dialect. You should not walk with your head down or up because you belong to a particular tribe. We are all human, and we deserve to be treated as such, with respect and dignity. No one should be pushed around because of their tribe. Today, I am in a good posture to let you know that the people that are from the same tribe with the current president of Cameroon are equally victims, like the ones that are being pushed away because of their tribe. The government, the president and his ministers, the current regime, they use tribalism to take Cameroon back to the first century. And it is not something any Cameroonian should be proud of. It is our intent to do whatever we can to bring our best forward so that together we can make Cameroon the best hope of earth. It is possible. Guess what? As I'm leaving the studio, somebody is coming in. All right, so I was almost concluding, and somebody came in. Hello,
Okay.
English.
Hello,
How are you?
Mr. Nestor. How do you do?
Good to see you. Welcome.
I'm happy to meet you today.
Yes, I was concluding, and then boom, yeah, you show up.
Yeah.
Then I said, listen, let me allow him to share his views with the world. So, what do you go by your first, your true name? English.
My true name is Agbo.
Agbo. Good.
Yeah.
So, Agbo, I saw you listening. You were paying attention to this exchange.
Yes, I just tried to get connected to the live video, you know.
Yes, this is a live video. We are live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
So,
Mr. Nestor, I'm happy with the work you guys are doing over there.
thank you. What are you talking to us from?
I am talking from Bangkok.
Oh, from Bangkok.
Yeah, in Thailand.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What time is it over there now?
I have 12 midday.
Very good. So what's your
12 midday.
what is your take?
My take is actually on the international community as regarding the crisis in Cameroon.
Yes.
So my problem is, and the question I keep asking the world, the question I keep asking the international bodies and the world superpowers, what are they still waiting to call the Cameroon government, to ask the Cameroon government to end the crisis in the two English-speaking regions?
Yes.
Do they want the entire Anglophone region to be wiped out before they call the Cameroon government to table?
That's a good question.
Our country has been experiencing this crisis for the past 4 years. Many people, properties have been destroyed. What is the international community thinking? What are they doing that we cannot see, that we cannot read, to bring the kangaroo government to table? We have seen the demonstrations carried out by the anti-Sardinia Brigade forces in Switzerland. I followed up that protest, and I was really shocked, Mr. Nestor. I was shocked to see that the Swiss government, through their police forces, they were trying to brutalize our Cameroonians who were demanding their president, who wanted to see their president, who wanted to talk to their president to go back and solve the problem in Cameroon.
And you know, Cameroonians are going back there on August 7, right? You know that? August 7, they are going back to protest in Switzerland.
That is a good news.
Good.
It's a good news.
Yes.
And my prayer is let them keep on with their protest. Let them keep on mounting their pressure.
Yes.
And what the other speaker said, Mr. Nestor, he spoke well, but my problem was that we are in the diaspora. The system, the political system and the security system in the diaspora is quite different from what is happening in Cameroon.
Exactly.
We cannot expect our poor mothers, our poor brothers and sisters back in Cameroon to go and sit in the streets of Yaoundé.
Thank you.
If they go and sit on the streets in Yaoundé, what will happen next with the security forces that pay allegiance to their king?
Exactly.
And those in the diaspora, we know what it means. The diasporans cannot leave and go to Yaoundé to sit on the streets.
No, we can't. But we can.
You are not even there to reach the airport in Douala or in Yaoundé, and they allow you to pass.
Exactly.
So my problem is, what is the United Nations? What are they doing? Switzerland is the seat of the United Nations. What are they doing? Mr. Nestor was in Cameroon about 2 years ago, but I could not go to my village.
I know, you cannot.
I could not pass through Boya to get to Mamfe.
You see? You see?
And I was, Mr. Nestor, I was surprised to say this. I was surprised to even hear some of our brothers in the French-speaking region. They laugh at the Anglophones that they are des sont là, it's les gens. I was surprised to hear myself.
No, the country, they are brainwashed.
They are brainwashed.
So I say we need to reprogram our mindset, our subconscious mind, because they don't even believe that this war is killing them more than the people that Cameroon. Every single Cameroonian is a walking dead, the one in Cameroon. I'm telling you the truth.
Of course. Myself, when I landed in Douala, I was just like praying that let me be checked and let me pass. Because they can give you any motive. They can give you any motive.
Trust me, my mother died, I couldn't even go bury her. So you were even able to travel there. But just because I cannot even fly into Cameroon. They told
every day
first.
There is a lot of manipulation in Cameroon.
True.
People are being manipulated because of poverty.
Absolutely.
Because of poverty.
By the government. A poverty that was created by the government, created and nourished by the government, impoverishing people, dividing them by tribe so that they cannot get along. And guess what? They just die.
They just die.
They just die. No question
So
about it.
I am really following up your page, and I am happy you informed me that there will be a protest in Swiss again.
Yes.
So I don't know, all of us, we cannot go to Yaoundé.
No.
All of us cannot go to Yaoundé to show our own physical presence. But I know that on social media, right, we can get to give our own opinion on social media.
And they are listening.
They are listening. But the problem too is, for how long are we going to fight using just the social media? For how long?
To be honest with you, I can tell you from observation that this regime is at the end. People can say what they want.
Yes.
Weak. They are weak because they are afraid that the Bamileke people will do the same thing that the people of Nozo did. So they are afraid that if people touch at the weapons, it's over. Because the Anglophone crisis started in 2016. That's 2006, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is the 6th year in the war. They never win. The government didn't win, and they don't want to do anything. They will do something.
And I was surprised to see one. I don't know whether it's a francophone or I don't know, but I believe he's a francophone who went in front of President Kamto's residence. I was making noise.
It's an idiot.
And nothing was done. Nothing was done to him.
He's an idiot.
Nothing was done to him. You know, so it's just to show us that Cameroon actually has a problem. Cameroon has a problem in such a way that there are some people, or that there is a particular tribe that needs to be looked upon as they are the owners of Cameroon.
Exactly. They are victims. To be honest with you, it is a strategy by Mr. Pierre and the French to use his tribe to govern and make every Cameroonian member of his tribe. That was the goal.
That is it.
It is unfortunate. Now Cameroonians know about it because we see data day in and day out. You look at the number of ambassadors, same tribe. You look at the number of ministers, his tribe. The governors, the division officers, the DOs, the SDOs, the subdivision officers, they are by the people of his tribe. People are tired. Cameroonians are tired. That's why they are afraid. Now they are blaming Professor Kamto, who was never the president of Cameroon, of tribalism. But guess what? They are forgetting that Mr. Pierre is
a tribalist.
Huh? He's the king.
He's a king from a particular tribe, working with his countrymen, tribesmen.
And use some foolish from other tribes. Because within the Anglophone population, you have
they run.
Professor Ngolo and other people.
I remember one time that professor said that President Paul Biya is the only natural candidate. I remember some time ago when I was watching their CRO TV, you know, and Professor Evis Ngole, who doesn't have a road. There is no road going to his village.
You see? That's the problem.
There is no road going to his village. And he came out and said President Paul Biya is their natural candidate.
Exactly. You know, he has to say that for his food, you know, for his money, for his
that the president has the people at heart.
It's terrible.
What is happening in Cameroon now? Does it show that the president has his people at heart?
It's terrible. It is terrible. A president,
what happened? Look at the COVID fund that was given to them. What happened with the COVID fund?
They stole the money. They stole the money. The Minister of Finance, he's saying that they dispersed like 45 billion to the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health is saying, hell no, you disbursed 30-something billion to my ministry. It is crazy. Two ministers arguing in public. It means the country is gone. The leadership is
the country is finished. The leadership is not there. The leadership is not there. So, Mr. Nestor, I just pray and I wish that in some time to come, the international community at this time, my problem is with the superpowers. They are the ones, the United States of America. America is the country that we look up to.
Yes. And Cameroonians are going to be protesting in front of the State Department on this August 6th from 9 to 12 p.m. in Washington, D.C. So just you know.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you and see you very well. Are you there? Hello? Are you there?
I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Maybe next time I will be happy to join your shows. I cannot hear you.
Then next time I will put the link public and then you can join. I can hear you very well. So I didn't mute your microphone. Okay. You good? Unmute your microphone. Your microphone is in mute. You good? You cannot hear me? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Next time you can come back. Okay, my buddy. It was a pleasure having you around. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to conclude. I will say thank you. Thank you for staying there. Thank you for the time. Thank you for your attention. And thank you for being mindful of the challenges of your country. Any human challenge can be faced. We can face our challenge and win. So next time, we will talk again. Next time might be tomorrow. Next time might be the day after tomorrow. But be mindful with the fact that here we are going to be sometimes conducting our shows in English and sometimes in French because we are Cameroonian. We want Cameroon to be the best hope of earth. Thank you very much and see you next time. Goodbye.